Unit 6. What do the British read? Unit 6. Session A. Activity 10.
There, dare,
1,
day,
2,
then,
3,
breathe,
4,
doze,
5,
though,
6.
load.
Unit 6. Session A. Activity 12. 1,
I love science fiction books.
2,
I like reading biographies.
3,
I don't really enjoy reading.
4,
I never read bestsellers.
5,
I didn't read a novel last month.
6,
I haven't read any poetry since school.
7,
I would rather see a play on stage than read the text in a book.
8,
I have read a lot of horror stories.
9,
I'm going to read more this year.
10.
I didn't like reading when I was a child.
Unit 6. Session A. Activity 14. 1,
I've just passed my driving test.
2,
I'm going out for a meal tonight.
3,
My mother is out of hospital.
4. I've finished my homework. 5,
My sister has just had twins.
6,
I've written a cheque for £10. Is that all right?
Unit 6. Session A. Activity 15.
Welcome to Bookshelf, our weekly review of the new books you can find at all good bookshops. Let's start with fiction, where there are some old favourites and some newcomers to try. First to be recommended is another bestseller by John Grisham, a gripping tale in which a young lawyer fights one of America's largest insurance companies. Next is the new novel by Maeve Binchy. It's the story of Kit, who worries about Helen because she is so different from all the other mothers in the village where they live. A very different sort of book comes from Barbara Erskine. Kate Kennedy is terrorized by mysterious forces. What do these ghostly visitors want? Hate, jealousy, and revenge are combined in this fascinating tale. Now, two newcomers to the world of fiction. Louise Bagshaw gives a fascinating view of pop groups on tour and journalists looking for the next big story. And finally, Madeline Wickham, with an intriguing combination of lies, greed, manipulation, and adultery, all set around a weekend playing tennis. And now for the best in non-fiction.
Unit 6. Session A. Activity 16.
Hi, how are you? Listen, I'm calling because I'm going on holiday and I want to take some Spanish books. First, can you recommend a really good recent Spanish novel? I need the title and the author. Great. What's it about? And do you know the publisher? Right. Now, what about non-fiction? Okay. And can you give me the title, author, and publisher again? Thanks a lot. Now, finally, a really classic novel in Spanish. Can you recommend one? Oh, that's wonderful. I'll get them at the International Bookshop in London. I'll ring you when I get back from holiday. Bye for now.
Unit 6, Session B, Activity 13.
What sort of books do you read? Who's your favourite author? How many pages have you read? Where do you buy books? Whose dictionary is this? Why didn't you like this novel?
Unit 6, Session B, Activity 14.
Oh, do you like P.J. Fisher? What did you think of her last novel?
Well, I didn't really enjoy that one much.
Oh, do you prefer a different style?
No, but it didn't make much impression on me. I don't remember much about the plot, and while I was reading, I wanted the characters to be more realistic.
I see.
And I didn't understand the main character all through the book. She was very strange.
Are you reading anything at the moment?
Only my reference books. I'm revising for my exams.
Well, it was nice to talk to you, and thank you. I realise what I must do in my next novel now.
Unit 6, Session B, Activity 16.
Have you read anything interesting lately? Tell me about it. What's the title and who's it by? And what is it? Fiction or non-fiction? So what's it about? And what do you like about it? It sounds really interesting. Who's the publisher? Great. I think I'll buy a copy myself.
Unit 6, Consolidation, Activity 2. Adam.
I love travelling, but I don't have much time or money to go abroad. I tend to buy travel books which tell the story of the writer's journey across different countries. I prefer the ones which are set in different continents like Africa, South America, or anywhere outside Europe.
Emily.
I'm studying at the moment, so I don't really read much apart from my textbooks. I've never been a very keen reader. In fact, I wouldn't read at all if I didn't have exams soon. I much prefer listening to music or watching TV.
Liz.
I like reading a lot. I usually choose novels by women writers, and I like books with strong or unusual female characters. My sister loves romantic fiction, but I never read that sort of thing. It's so unrealistic, and the women are always so predictable.
Nigel. I really like detective novels. My favourites are the American ones from the 50s, with characters like Philip Marlowe. But I'll read anything, even Sherlock Holmes and Hercule Poirot. I'm not very keen on the new-style detective stories, which mix strange phenomena with crime. They're too futuristic for me. Helen.
I just adore books about men and women who fall in and out of love in romantic places. I especially like the ones about rich and powerful people. I imagine myself sharing their lifestyle and falling in love with a tall, dark, handsome man. The rest of the family think I'm silly, but I don't care. I buy a novel every week, and the fatter, the better.
Unit 6, Self-Test, Activity 3.
My daughter came home from school the other day with a list of books that they were going to use for their English literature exam. I was so shocked. There was not one classic English author or playwright anywhere in the list. It was all modern short stories, 6 modern plays for schools, and even a book of stories from around the world in translation. I'm English, and I want my children to study English literature. My daughter says the stories are very informative and help her to understand how other young people live in different countries. I can't understand it. When I was her age, I was reading Jane Austen, Dickens, Keats and Wordsworth. They say the modern work is more relevant to people today, but I don't agree. I think classic literature is part of our heritage, and we should respect it. TV programs, computer and video games and music all have a negative effect on young people. We need good literature to help them develop intellectually.